Edwardian London saw great changes in the city. The capital was the financial center of the world, and a whole new era was being ushered in. But at the same time, some rather unsavory characters were making their way here. Fortunately, the Metropolitan Police was changing dramatically and had a whole new set of methods to track them down and, just as vitally, to convict them in court.
You had a system called Bertillonage, after Alphonse Bertillon. How this worked was that cards were made out and a criminal was measured. Length of his fingers, size of his head, size of his ears, size of his body. Well, you can imagine putting all these down on cards and then trying to get some form of identification when you've got thousands of cards to compare was almost impossible. So fingerprints are going to change all that in 1905.
The first murder solved in Britain by fingerprints. Murder in Deptford High Street. There was a thumbprint on the cash box, and that led to the conviction of the Stratton brothers. And this led to an almost sort of scientific approach, which started to build Scotland Yard's international reputation.
The new police force and the realm of forensic science would be tested on terrible crimes that were to take place in London. Two of the most notorious were in Camden Town.
Camden at this time is described as being very noisy and dirty. Lots of lorries, horse-drawn vehicles, pubs, and the common people who go to them.
Camden has always been a place that attracted a wide variety of characters. Everyone from the bare-knuckle fighter Tom Sayer to the great novelist Charles Dickens moved to this part of North London. In the early 20th century, though, the local community in Camden would be shocked to the core by two brutal killings. The first, in 1907, became known as the Camden Town murder. It was a crime that harked back to the time of Jack the Ripper 20 years earlier, because it involved the murder of a prostitute named Emily Dimmock, who had her throat slashed in her home by a client. Her body was discovered the next day by her partner, and the story grabbed the public's attention. The case aroused the interest of the artist Walter Sickert. He painted a series of works on the Camden Town murder. A man named Robert Wood was apprehended and charged with the crime, based on some writing on a postcard found in the victim's room. But a brilliant defense by the famous barrister Edward Marshall Hall would see him found innocent in court. The case remains unsolved. Just a couple of years later, though, Edward Marshall Hall would again be called to the defense, this time in the case of Dr. Crippen.
Crippen was an American, trained to be a doctor. He came to England, but his medical qualifications weren't recognised. And so he went to work for a patent company dealing with various medicines.
The dividing line between patent medicines and being a quack doctor is a bit blurred. But nevertheless, I'm sure there'd be many people who took what Dr. Crippen gave them and were very grateful. He became friendly with Cora Makamowski. She wanted to be a singer. She used to perform on the music hall stage, which was very popular in those days, and she went by the name of Belle Elmore.
She wanted to sing grand opera, but she didn't have the voice or the talent.
The story of Harvey Hawley Crippen remains one of the most enduring crimes of the 20th century. Some key mysteries surround the case, which have puzzled amateur sleuths for years. This is a sordid and absorbing tale of love lives gone horribly wrong. It all begins when Dr. Crippen and his wife Cora move into number 39 Hilldrop Crescent in Camden.
A bright and stylish girl you see, belle of good society, not too strict but rather free, yet as right can be. Never forward, never bold, not too shy and not too cold, but the very thing I'm told that in your arms you'd like to fold. What do you think, darling?
It's nice.
Oh, you know I hate that word.
So, I had a meeting with Mrs. Kurnow today. I decided. Mrs. Kurnow was real sorry. I've decided I'm leaving Munyon's. Would you mind? Munyon's just isn't right for me anymore. It's time I focused my energies where it matters, on my other ventures, like we talked about.
The Harvard tooth pullers?
Yale. It's Yale. And you know what? The dentistry is going from strength to strength. In fact, with a little capital investment, a couple of £100. Cora.
Belle, darling.
It's my money too.
Ta-ra-ra bum dee ta-ra-ra bum dee
Cora.
Ta-ra-ra bum dee
You're my wife.
Ta-ra-ra bum dee ta-ra-ra bum dee ta-ra-ra.
Crippen, besides working for a patent medicine company, also worked for a deaf centre. And it's there he met a young typist called Ethel Leneve. The two of them began an affair.
Crippen had been promising her one day it would be better than this. All of a sudden in February, according to her landlady, she cheered up.
Good morning, Dr. Crippen.
I want you to move in with me.
What about your wife? Used to buy me dinner after work. I think at first he was just avoiding going home. He used to say he and Cora, his wife, had drifted apart in sympathy. Then our sneaking off became rather a pleasant routine.
Dr. Crippen was keeping up his routine well. He and his wife Cora entertained their theatrical friends, among whom were the Martinettis, at their home in Hilldrop Crescent.